appointed Stephanie McMahon to serve as interim CEO. I have pledged my complete cooperation to the investigation by the special committee, and I will do everything possible to support the investigation. I've also pledged to accept my findings and outcome of the investigation, whatever they are, said Vince McMahon. Stephanie, obviously you guys heard her quotes about everything. I love this company, and I am committed to working with the independent directors to strengthen our culture and our company. It is extremely important to me that we have a safe and collaborative workplace. I've committed to doing everything in my power to help the special committee complete its work, including marshaling the cooperation of the entire company to assist in the completion of the investigation and to implement its findings, says Miss McMahon. WWE and its board of directors take all allegations of misconduct very seriously. The independent directors of the board engaged independent legal counsel to assist them with an independent review. In addition, the special committee and WWE will work with an independent third party to conduct a comprehensive review of the company's compliance program, HR function, and overall culture. The company and the board do not expect that further comment until the investigation is concluded. This is the biggest story of my life. I don't know what you guys are thinking. This is the biggest story personally of my life. And we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot watching World Wrestling Entertainment. Looking at this head on, I want change so badly in this company because I love WWE. I love pro wrestling. I would not be here if I didn't. I would have gone and fucking worked some shit-ass retail job and fucking slave away for minimum wage. I applied my fucking passion to doing this full time, and I appreciate every single fucking one of you that's in here right now who waits for my opinion with bated breath every fucking week. You guys are very important to me. I would not be here if I did not truly love pro wrestling. And I have every reason to say, I give up, I can't stand this shit. I want to look at this and I want to find some optimism. I really do. I really do. On one hand, if Stephanie McMahon is taking over from Vince McMahon, never in my lifetime did I think Vince McMahon would ever step down. I genuinely have contemplated this on a weekly basis. When are we going to be free of Vince and Johnny Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard and get the company to a point where everything is running the way that it should? They may be great financially. They may be making more money now than ever before. Fine. I don't give a shit about it. Neither should you. Neither should you. I find it very funny, all the people on social media, oh, but they're making millions, and who gives a shit about the ratings? But when AEW comes out with ratings, oh my god, they're dead, I can't wait for them to die, blah, blah, blah. It's like these people are paid fucking actors, and they just go out there and shill the company for no good reason. They're not getting any benefit from it. Why does a normal casual fan wonder about what WWE's making financially? The weekly television shows suck. That's the first thing on my mind. Looking at Stephanie McMahon take over from Vince McMahon, it is very easy to fall into that trap. Oh my god, things are going to change. Are they? Are they going to change? Maybe with Stephanie McMahon taking over full-time completely without the possibility of Vince McMahon returning, I could see maybe change. I do. I do see change coming if that is the case. That is not the case. I don't know who you listen to. I don't know who you guys have already gone out there and watched or read their articles or listened to their opinions and read their tweets. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Will there be change? Yes. There has to be change. With Stephanie McMahon taking over in this position, there has to be change. There has to be change because there needs to be change as far as the board of directors is concerned. If the board of directors have appointed Stephanie McMahon as the interim CEO, they're going to need to see change to justify that things are heading in the right direction. Because if there's no change, it may result in them uncovering more. And you don't want to give these people who are investigating the company more ammunition to go out there and find something else out about somebody else or even more dirt than Vince McMahon. You don't want that. So with Stephanie McMahon in charge as interim CEO, there will be change. The change that comes, I don't know. She fired Bruce Pritchard once before. That's my first fucking move. Get him out. Get him out. You gotta fucking drain the swamp.
There's no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform that you need to build yours. When you're hiring, you need Indeed. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy because Indeed does the hard work for you. They show you the candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your description immediately after you post so you can hire faster. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports, and support the show by saying that you heard it on this podcast. Indeed.com/Blue Wire Sports. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Do it. Bruce, Johnny Laurinaitis is as good as gone, man. This guy could break the fucking every known entity that there is out there, man. Nobody is going to spare this man's life. This man is fucking laying on the altar of sacrifice. He's as good as gone, man. Johnny Laurinaitis is never going to have another job in the world of pro wrestling again. He will be forever known as the Bella's bitch. Goodbye. Sexist, womanizing piece of shit is Johnny Laurinaitis. Get him the fuck out. Everything that man stood for, get him the fuck out. This is the type of fucking people that don't need to be there. Stephanie McMahon will be making decisions and moves. Get him out. Johnny Laurinaitis, Bruce Pritchard, fucking whoever else is there on Vince McMahon's fucking bowl gargling squad, get him out. I want to hope that there is change. There will need to be change just to show face to the board of directors. Vince McMahon is still in charge of creative. I want you guys to be very well aware of this. Vince McMahon is still in charge of creative. All because Stephanie McMahon is in charge doesn't mean Paul Levesque is going to be head of creative now. Oh, look at that. Here comes Paul Levesque, the heir apparent to the throne of the WWE. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everybody is jumping the gun on Vince McMahon's demise. I hope for it. I really do. I want him to step back. I want him to step away 100%. I wish he would have given up all his creative power to somebody there that would take the show and make it right. It's not going to happen. Does anybody truly believe that Vince McMahon is ever going to step away from creative? As far as I'm concerned, and the way I see it, Vince McMahon's a fucking genius. Vince McMahon is a fucking mastermind in all of this. Stephanie McMahon was removed from her original position and her title of chief brand officer. So then there was a report from, if I could find it, I thought I had it on here. There was a report from Cultaholic, I believe. Let me look it up. Or it's Wrestle Talk or one of these. I have it, and it's pertinent to the fucking story. Reason WWE tried to bury to preserve the price. To those outside of the professional wrestling realm, Vince McMahon's daughter and the perceived heir apparent leaving the company would make it seem like something was wrong within the organization. As a result, the company claimed McMahon was underperforming in her role to give the impression that there wasn't anything wrong and that Stephanie McMahon was simply not good at her job. Vince McMahon is a fucking genius. For all that people say about Vince McMahon, me included, when it comes to business and the team that Vince McMahon has assembled, Vince McMahon is one of the most powerful men in this sport. He's also one of the smartest men in all of business. There's a reason why Vince McMahon has gotten this far, and Vince McMahon will be cleared of all these charges. Vince McMahon owned 80% of the Class B stock for WWE. He had all of the voting power in WWE. Nothing was going to go to anybody else, man. If WWE was making a decision, it was going to be at the fucking behest of Vince McMahon. So what did Vince McMahon do? Vince McMahon sat down with the board of directors. Vince McMahon told everybody and convinced everybody on the board of directors, including Nick Khan, there are 12 board of directors in WWE. Sat down with all of them. Came to the conclusion that he's going to step back. He gave everybody Stephanie McMahon is the right person for the job. Nick Khan, he's shit out of luck, man. He wants to be fucking Thanos and he wants to wipe away the McMahon family empire to sell this shit to fucking Mickey Mouse. It ain't gonna happen. Vince is chill with the directors. Stephanie's the right person for the job. He steps back. The McMahons stay in power in WWE. Nick Khan, he's somebody right now that has nothing to do with anything. He's in the position that he's in right now. He's gonna maintain that position. But right now, Stephanie McMahon basically is filling in for Vince, and Nick Khan has to now answer to Stephanie McMahon. While Vince McMahon steps back and does what he has to do for creative. You don't think Vince McMahon is still running the company in the fucking shadows of Stephanie McMahon? You don't think this man is still ordering things to happen as they should happen? Stephanie McMahon is going to go to Vince McMahon about everything. Everything. Vince McMahon's going to have to play ball. He's in a position right now where Vince McMahon is at his weakest state. Vince McMahon cannot just outwardly say no and that be the final decision. Vince McMahon's no now comes with a combative fucking presence around it. Vince, I don't think that no is a really good idea. We need to maybe think this through. Where Vince McMahon's no before was the final say and nobody had any fucking word about it, Vince McMahon's no could be met with a bunch of no's on the other side of the fence. Stephanie McMahon is only the CEO for the time being, interim CEO. Vince McMahon is still the one who's running shit behind the scenes. That's, as far as I see it, that's the way I see it. Now, Stephanie's going to have to do something. Stephanie's going to have to go in there and clean house. Stephanie's going to have to go in there and wipe the fucking pool of all this poison. And I do think that that will come within time. Johnny Laurinaitis, Bruce Pritchard, and anybody else on that team that's shady, that's worked for Vince McMahon, goodbye. This could be Stephanie McMahon's time to really say to her dad, what you've been doing is not right. We don't need this old man, old boys club mentality anymore. It's giving the company and our family a bad look. Let me hire the right people. Stephanie is a world-acclaimed female presence in the world of business. So why would he not trust her to go out there and make the right decisions and hire people and put those people in those positions and get a cleanup started backstage in WWE? They all have to go. I said this time and time and time again, and I'm not going to stop repeating it. They all have to go. A more inclusive environment backstage, a more woman-friendly environment backstage, a more welcoming, not walking on eggshells environment backstage. This is the type of presence that we need. McMahon's presence, Stephanie McMahon's presence is exactly what we need in the WWE right now. I will say this, though. I will say this. If Vince McMahon is only head of creative, which I don't really believe, I do think that he's going to be running the shit from the shadows. If Vince McMahon really is only in charge of creative, this may be a good thing. I don't want to sit here and tell you it's going to be a bad thing. It may be a good thing. Without all this shit on Vince McMahon's plate and without all the fucking other shit that Vince McMahon has to deal with on a daily basis, he only right now has to worry about the creative for Monday and Friday. We could see a vivid or more vivid vision of WWE's product from Vince McMahon's eyes. We may start to see some changes based on the fucking workload that he might not have to worry about anymore because he stepped back. But WWE, in my honest opinion, is going to be Vince McMahon until Vince McMahon officially steps away for good and leaves creative to somebody else. But Stephanie McMahon, theoretically, minus all what I said, because I truly do believe that Vince McMahon is still in charge. The stock prices have taken a hit. They're down almost 4% today. And this goes to show you that, people don't really know who Stephanie McMahon is. There's a little hesitancy there right now. The company is Vince McMahon. They all trust Vince McMahon to make the right decisions. They're only on board because of Vince McMahon. It would have been the same way if Triple H took over. They don't really trust Triple H. They don't know Triple H enough to trust him. They don't know Stephanie McMahon enough to trust her, even though she's a McMahon. But Vince is a fucking genius. Vince is a genius. He shilled what he shilled to the board of directors, kept a McMahon in charge. Can you imagine if Vince McMahon stepped back without doing what he did and left all the power to Nick Khan to facilitate somebody else being the new CEO of WWE? Vince McMahon would never live in a world where WWE would be run as CEO by somebody that's not a McMahon. This is a genius fucking move. He's going to step back. He's going to do what he's got to do until things right themselves, and he will be back as CEO. Stephanie McMahon's not going to be the CEO forever. She's not taking over full-time for Vince McMahon. If anybody believes Stephanie McMahon is taking over for Vince McMahon as CEO full-time, I think they're fucking stupid. There's no reason to believe why that's going to happen. Not anyway. This is something along the lines of, it needs to happen for me to fucking believe it. Everybody's already predicting the demise of Vince McMahon and better WWE television. Folks, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Nothing is going to change. Friday Night SmackDown tonight going to draw 3 rating because of Vince McMahon and Vince McMahon only. The show that we're getting should be okay because of Roman Reigns and that real main eventing tonight. But following this next week, nothing's going to change. We don't expect fucking NXT Black and Gold to be resurrected overnight. Triple H to be in charge, turning the fucking Fruit Loop box of NXT 2.0 back to Black and Gold overnight. None of this is going to happen. You're living in a fucking fantasy world. I wish I'd be the first one leading the goddamn charge on that discussion, gang. I want nothing more, so much more than anybody in the community for that to happen. I don't really understand why people are just falling into this fantasy realm where things are going to automatically be better. This is why I read it, and I didn't really jump at, oh my God, some change is coming. Yes, potential for change is coming, but there's no reason for us to believe it. None. What could Stephanie McMahon change? Stephanie McMahon can do whatever the fuck she wants. The CEO, right? She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She can get rid of Bruce, she can get rid of John Laurinaitis, she can get rid of everybody else back there that she doesn't want there. Triple H, for us buried. Triple H has been by management. Triple H seemingly could have a position of power again. We could see Triple H maybe have more power in WWE, more power, maybe getting back NXT, releasing that grip from Bruce Bridges and Vince McMahon, the changes that they solely wanted, removing Triple H from power. That's what happened. You don't think Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard and Nick Khan did this all on their own? People are still out there thinking that Shawn Michaels and Triple H are running NXT. You're living in a fucking fantasy realm where dragons fly in the air and fucking Chris Jericho is casting spells on somebody and Becky Lynch is living in a fucking cave somewhere. No. Bruce and Vince run NXT from Skype. Or soon. That's what's going on. Shawn Michaels is a puppet. You don't think Stephanie McMahon has a fucking bone to pick with these people? You don't think Stephanie McMahon was just as proud of NXT as Triple H was? You don't think Stephanie McMahon was fucking thrilled and over the moon about the way women's wrestling started to be a centerpiece for WWE? All of it was wiped away. All of it was wiped away. Gone are the Sasha Banks and the Baileys and the Charlottes and the fucking Bianca Belairs that were cultivated in NXT. Now we got Nikita Lyons. No disrespect to Nikita Lyons, because I don't know what the fucking talent the woman possesses. But Nikita Lyons coming out on fucking TV, having 2-minute matches because she's got a big fucking ass, doesn't really interest me as far as a pro wrestling aspect is concerned. Half of the fucking women that you see now on NXT 2.0 are toxic attraction. That's what John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon and everybody else in WWE think women's wrestling is. Stephanie McMahon, in charge, proactively, now has the power to change all of that. She has the power to change all of that. Somebody who is at the forefront of advocating for a women's revolution. We could see change in NXT. We could see change on the main roster. This is something that might keep Sasha Banks in WWE and have her second guess on what she wants to do. If the fucking swamp and the old boys club and the old man mentality is there, the sexism and the asses and the tits and all this other shit that they push to the forefront with Triple H being removed for women's wrestling, Stephanie McMahon can usher back in what Triple H and his vision was, and things could be changed to a point where it may be enough to lure Sasha Banks back to the WWE. But people thinking that there will be change, nothing's going to change. These are only possibilities. These are only possibilities. Triple H being reinstated in NXT, better creative on the main roster. How can it be better creative with the main roster? Vince McMahon is still in charge of creative and is head of creative. For all the bullshit that people are saying out there, man, you guys are really fucking mental, man. Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility for this to happen. That's why I'm bringing you all the fucking case in points about what could be. But I don't want people to jump the gun about anything that's going on here. Stephanie McMahon is an interim chairwoman, CEO of WWE, and if you read between the lines of the title, Vince has stepped back. He stepped back. It went from Vince, back, Stephanie, ahead of Vince. That's all it means. He didn't step down. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be backstage. He's going to be on TV tonight. He's going to fucking dwell in the shadows of Gotham City until the time is right. And then he's going to put on the Batman suit, and he's going to go about fighting for WWE once again as CEO. That is what is going to happen. As soon as this investigation is cleared, and it will be cleared. It will be cleared. Nobody's beating Vince McMahon on this. Nobody. Even with the little fucking asterisk next to the $100,000 raise that the woman got. Vince McMahon will be back in charge of running WWE, and Nick Khan is going to be fucking shriveled up in a corner. Oh, my plan didn't work. What else could we come up with? You know? I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, guys, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, the $100,000 raise that this woman got, you know, a lot of people want to hang their fucking hat. That's what's going to get him. That's what's going to get him. How do you really know that's what's going to get him? You think Jerry McDivitt is somebody that's going to let that one slide? There's an in and out for everything, man. Jerry McDivitt is not going to allow that to beat Vince McMahon. If you truly believe, this is what people don't really get, man. This is what I do for a fucking living. I have people around me and we have discussions about this shit, man, and I sit here and I fucking contemplate everything. If you think Vince McMahon is going to fucking lose power completely in WWE over $100,000, and he didn't cover his bases on $100,000, man, what are you doing? Why don't you ever believe that? You think Vince McMahon is stupid enough to blow his coffers and blow everything that he's had in WWE, all the power and all the money, over $100,000? Clearly, this was approved by HR. There's a reason why Vince McMahon has hired a human resources department. They handle this. $100,000 is not going to be the downfall of Vince McMahon. HR approved a $100,000 raise for legit reasons. Now, the report didn't state that the $100,000 was given in one lump sum in 1 year. Who's to say that it wasn't paid over the 3 years that the woman has been there? She got hired in 2019 as a paralegal. It's now 2022. Who's to say that it wasn't $100,000 over a period of 3 years based on work? Maybe when she came in, other paralegals were making $200,000 and she made a statement to somebody and she worked her ass off to get to a point where she's now on average about what the other paralegals in WWE are making. Everybody made this out to be the fucking nail in Vince McMahon's coffin. $100,000 is going to be the nail in Vince McMahon's fucking coffin? I don't think so. You think Vince McMahon is stupid not to cover his bases on that? There's a legit reason, which I am 1,000% sure is on public record, why she got a raise, and it's not something that WWE is going to let slide out there in the public. It's not Vince McMahon paying that woman with corporate money. It is corporate money, but it's not for the reasons of nefarious actions or nefarious means. It may just be because this woman is pretty damn good at her job, and get your fucking mind out of the gutter.
I don't even think we got into
The other thing about this, who's to say Vince McMahon initiated a $100,000 raise? You know, there are full men in WWE, right? Every single person on Vince McMahon's fucking team, man. All the fucking flies that buzz around, that fucking big piece of shit. That is Vince McMahon. You think WWE is going to let Vince McMahon go under for $100,000, man? There is a reason. There is a reason why Paul Heyman was removed. Why Vince McMahon never put himself as director of Monday Night Raw. We all know Vince McMahon runs Monday Night Raw. We all know Vince McMahon runs Friday Night SmackDown. There is a fucking decision made without that man's stamp of approval. Paul Heyman was put in charge of Monday Night Raw because he was hired as a fullman. When Vince McMahon hires somebody like that to be in a position of power on Monday Night Raw, we are all going to blame Paul Heyman when things go awry, when they fall, when they fail. So Paul Heyman got removed after 1 year. Why? Because he wasn't doing an adequate job. Meanwhile, I would trust Paul Heyman 7 days of the fucking week over Vince McMahon to run Monday Night Raw. But he got pulled. Eric Bischoff didn't even get 1 day on the job before he was fucking pulled from Friday Night SmackDown. Soon as that one show, that debut episode on Fox, that did 4.5 million viewers with The Rock being in the ring with Becky Lynch and Baron Corbin. You guys remember that? The ratings tanked to a 2.4, 2.5. They lost half of their fucking audience. What do you think they blamed on that? Didn't take long for them to blame Eric Bischoff. Goodbye. Heyman and Bischoff were hired as fullmen. When things go wrong, there is always a fall guy in place. Johnny Laurinaitis is a fall guy. He is going to be on the receiving end of every negative fucking thing that comes out of this investigation. He is nothing more than a fall guy. Johnny Laurinaitis, his name was all up and down that Wall Street Journal interview, man, or that article. He's a fall guy. He got the woman because Vince McMahon shoot her off as a toy to Johnny Laurinaitis. So that, by default, makes her John Laurinaitis' priority, right? Whatever Vince is doing, yes, it's there in the article, but Johnny Laurinaitis took this woman as his responsibility and did whatever he needed to do to keep Vince McMahon happy. Who's to say that Johnny Laurinaitis didn't execute a $100,000 raise for the woman because he wanted to keep Vince McMahon happy? That's what he hires these people to do. Johnny Laurinaitis is going down for every single part of this investigation. Vince McMahon used his own personal money to keep something private that I think every single one of us who loves pro wrestling knew about Vince McMahon. He's a scumbag, sleazeball, old fucking pervert who cheated on his wife, and he did a NDA, tried to keep her quiet, $3 million, don't say anything bad publicly about Vince McMahon, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Join the long list of fucking CEOs who have ultimate power in a fucking big company that they run. That is a fucking scumbag. I'm sorry, I'm not surprised by anything that came out in the Wall Street Journal. It's like them shining a ray of light. Oh my God, oh look at this, look at us, look at what we uncovered. No shit. No shit. Vince McMahon has everything strategically mapped out. He stepped back and appointed Stephanie McMahon as he stepped back from CEO and chairman of the board, appointed his daughter to take the spot so that the McMahon family name is still in control. 100% of the power still lies in the McMahon name. Nick Khan is shit out of luck, man. Do I think Nick Khan is the whistleblower? You better fucking believe I think Nick Khan is the fucking whistleblower in this entire thing. He wants to wipe out the fucking McMahon legacy and sell the company off so that we make billions. More so than the McMahons could ever make and he wants to do it all by himself. Vince McMahon is fucking genius, if you will. Everything in place. Laurinaitis is the fall guy, out of his own pocket to pay this woman $3 million again. That's even up for debate. Was it a $3 million lump sum? Was it paid over the fucking 5 years that she was quiet, or whatever the case may be? He's got everything in place, man. Money out of his own pocket to keep her quiet. Johnny Laurinaitis executed and activated a fucking race for this woman based through human resources for legit reasons. He's the fucking fall guy. And then Vince McMahon taking a step back from CEO, appointing Stephanie McMahon as the chairman or the chairwoman of the board while he maintains creative. I mean, folks, Vince McMahon's going to be the chairman of the board within less than a year. Vince McMahon, they all come back from it. They all come back from it, man. The one guy that sticks out to me is Tiger Woods. Do you guys remember what Tiger Woods went through? All the sexual allegations and the abuse and the fucking harassment and the fucking womanizing that Tiger Woods went through. He lost his deals with Tag Heuer. He lost his deals with Rolex. He lost every Mercedes-Benz and fucking Gatorade and all this other shit that Tiger Woods was a part of. Now he's back on the fucking greens and he's fucking playing golf and he's got his sponsorship back with Rolex and he's got his sponsorship back with Gatorade and he's still one of the biggest names in the sport. You do what you do, you fuck up, you come out, you make a public apology, you lose everything, and then they wait in the shadows and they get everything back the way that it was. Is Tiger Woods fucking winning fucking Masters? No. Tiger Woods is not even the shell of a fucking former player that he was. But Vince McMahon isn't fucking playing for the PGA. He's Vince McMahon, CEO of WWE. And Vince McMahon is going to be a CEO by the end of the year. When this investigation is clear and Jerry McDivitt will want to get big shit done because he doesn't want a black eye on the company, Vince McMahon will be back in charge. Nothing will change. With him as head of creative, nothing will change. That's the only part that we should care about. His fucking penis size and what the woman looks like and all this other shit. The genetic jackhammer. I don't give a fuck what he's doing or who he's fucking. I don't care. I watch shit on television to make sense. I'll leave that to the fucking irrelevance on social media to joke about on a daily basis. We want better television. And we're not going to get better television until Vince is completely gone. And that's one complete fucking brain. Is Stephanie McMahon going to make changes? You better fucking believe she's going to make changes. Are they going to be the changes that matter? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I can't see Vince McMahon completely stepping away. I see people saying that when Vince McMahon is cleared of all these charges, there's no way he's coming back. He's absolutely going to be back in charge. There's no other reason for this, or why this would be happening. Vince has it in the back of his mind that he's going to be back in charge, and he stepped back. That's what's the reality of the situation. So all the people that are trying to WWE, I'm sorry, man, I just don't see it. I wish. Tony Khan is not buying WWE. This is not going to make WWE weaker. No. Nothing will change until Vince McMahon is completely removed from power. Now, him showing up on TV, I think, is a fucking dick move. I really do. I don't think Vince McMahon needs to be on TV. I think he should be. And Fox, they have the power to say, Vince, we don't think this is a good idea. But Vince is going to be on TV from what we know right now. He's going to be on TV making a public statement about this, and he's going to say what he's going to say. Do I think that's the right move? No, I think it's a sleazeball move. But he's got to come out and publicly apologize. And the fact that he's going to do that and then go back into the shadows, run the show the way business is as usual, only for Stephanie McMahon to be there with the McMahon family name in control and in power, that's it. That's it. Everybody that thinks this is going to change WWE, I need you to get back to reality, man. Nothing about Vince stepping down and Stephanie being inserted is going to change a fucking thing in WWE.
Kratos, the key you found. Whose was
That's all I have on the story. Anything else? Anything else? I will obviously keep you guys updated on the podcast, and we will attack it as it comes in. I know a lot of people were wondering, well, JD, how can you talk about this yesterday? I didn't want to talk about this yesterday because I had a very, very strong feeling that things were not done in regards to Vince McMahon and this scandal. So now we have all that we need to know, and Stephanie McMahon right now is interim CEO of WWE. The other big story that happened this week is Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, apparently there is news on Sasha Banks. She is looking like she may end up getting her release. Now, again, I don't know what this means for Sasha Banks and Stephanie McMahon taking over. Maybe Sasha Banks isn't as stupid as people believe she is, but Sasha Banks could be looking at a WWE release because she reportedly has lawyers getting it done. Raj Giri, he posted up a tweet that's got him death threats. Because the IWC is a bunch of fucking idiots. That's why. He put up a tweet about Sasha Banks potentially being released from the company. He put it up. It blew up. People were talking about it. It got Sasha Banks trending. No one else has been able to confirm the news. But Geary does have a good track record of breaking news. From what I know about Raj, he's not putting his name, I don't know him personally. He's not going to put his name out there on something that isn't true. Now, he could end up having this backfire on him. I don't think this is going to backfire on him. I'm thinking that it will be something that is announced in the week to come. And WWE is going to announce it when the lawyers give them the opportunity to say, you know what, we've done our part. Sasha Banks is a free woman. You need to go announce it right now. We wish her well in her future endeavors. Fightful noted that after talking with Raj, they learned that Banks' lawyers were involved and there had been eyes on a physical WWE release. Now, during the Mat Men podcast on Thursday, Andrew Zarian said that while he can't confirm she's been released, he did hear last week that her attorneys were working on getting this done. Last month, at a Monday Night Raw event, as you guys know, Banks and Naomi walked out because of creative differences with Vince McMahon regarding a six-pack challenge on the show. That's not something that's going to be a regular thing anymore. They can argue Vince McMahon now. Everybody can argue Vince McMahon now because Stephanie McMahon is the interim CEO. And if something is going to break as far as creative unhappiness and all this other shit, you don't want that getting out there making Stephanie McMahon look good. She's going to look bad. She's going to try and make it look good, and Stephanie McMahon's going to put her foot down. That's the potential for change. That potentially could happen. I don't know. It is very difficult, like I said, for me to believe that Vince McMahon is going to reduce his power because of an investigation going on about some fucking scandal and some hush money that he gave to some woman that he was having an affair with. Stephanie McMahon could step in and change those types of situations. That remains to be seen. I don't want to say no or yes, but the potential is there. The plan was for Naomi to challenge Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell while Banks was supposed to wrestle Ronda Rousey. So the following Friday on SmackDown, it was announced that the two were indefinitely suspended, stripped of the championships. They have not said a single word on anything, and yet WWE is in this huge black hole of everything happening where Randy Orton is out, Cody Rhodes is out, McMahon is stepping back from his CEO duties, and Randy Orton, we'll talk about him in a second. Sasha Banks being released. There's a lot going on, man. This may be the busiest, most unbelievable week in WWE history. The lawyers with Sasha Banks, if it's in the hands of the lawyers, I expect it to happen within the next 7 days, or whenever. The thing is, and this is what a lot of people are not talking about, 90 days from now would probably bring us close to AEW All Out. WWE doesn't want Sasha Banks debuting at All Out. WWE doesn't want Sasha Banks debuting at Grand Slam in Queens either. WWE doesn't want Sasha Banks to be released on a fucking Monday or a Tuesday for her to show up on a Wednesday and show up on AEW Dynamite right after a WWE release. It's probably going to happen, and it's inevitable that it will happen. WWE will hold back Sasha Banks' release so that All Out passes and that Grand Slam passes so that Sasha Banks can't debut on one of those 8 shows. They are going to prolong her debut in AEW for as long as they can. And JD, why are you saying AEW? Because I do think that Sasha Banks will end up in AEW. I do. A lot of people are telling me, because I posted an opinion tweet last night, Sasha Banks is the best female pro wrestler in WWE right now that is employed on the main roster. She's better than Becky, she's better than Bianca, and she's better than Charlotte Flair. Don't even at me about Charlotte Botch Machine Flair, who can't even do a fucking proper moonsault correctly. Charlotte Flair and all her fucking crying and all the fucking bullshit that we get with Charlotte Flair, man. I wouldn't even say Charlotte Flair is the best wrestler on her brand. Never mind in the women's division. Give me a break. Overrated. Give me a break. Sasha Banks is the best female performer in the WWE. She's one of the best female performers on the planet. You think this woman is showing her 100% capability in the confines of WWE? Fuck no. Of course she's not. This is a woman that had her passion killed. This is a woman that had her passion killed and had to go over to Japan and work the fucking Japanese strong style because she wanted to fall in love with pro wrestling. This is a woman that frequents the House of Glory school. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting her yet, but I hope one day I hear about her going to the House of Glory school, getting in the ring with the students, training with the students side by side, and teaching the class, all with her favorite notebook. It's a woman that loves professional wrestling. Everybody's like, well, who's to say she even wants to pro wrestle? I think those people are living in a sea of ignorance. Sasha Banks is 30 years old. You don't think this woman wants to wrestle? She may not want to wrestle until she's fucking 45. She doesn't need to. She go to Hollywood tomorrow and be a fucking megastar. Sasha Banks just is a megastar. This woman is going to wrestle. This woman is going to AEW. Tony Khan is already licking his fucking lips. Get your mind out of the gutter. Sasha Banks will be all elite. Sasha Banks will start a new women's revolution in AEW. Sasha Banks with Paige, because she'll be all elite too, will start a women's revolution in AEW where Sasha Banks has wanted to do this in WWE, was never afforded the opportunity to continue doing it. She will be able to continue with the likes of Ruby Soho, Jade Cargill, Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander. If you don't think this is an enticing offer for Sasha Banks from Mercedes, you got another thing fucking coming, my friend. Sasha Banks will be Athena. I can't forget Athena. You think Sasha Banks doesn't want to wrestle? You think Sasha Banks wants to be a part and a leader of not one, but two women's revolutions? How do you think that's going to look on her resume when she leads the women's division in WWE and leads the women's division in AEW that desperately needs someone like her and her leadership? That may be the biggest signing outside of CM Punk and Bryan Danielson that Tony Khan ever gives a contract to, man. That will be the biggest signing of the entire year, right under CM Punk. Give me a fucking break, man. Give me a break. These women have been fucking toyed with, disrespected, neglected, short-handed, handcuffed, and you don't think that this woman has every fucking right and every gripe to want to go to the competition and shove this shit so far up Bruce Pritchard and Johnny Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon's ass? You don't think she wants to do that? Give me a break, man. I don't need to sit here and document why Sasha Banks wants to go anywhere. The woman's gonna do what she wants to do. But if you think that she ain't gonna wrestle, man, 30 years old, she can wrestle till she's 33, 34, quit, go to Hollywood, and still be one of the most beautiful women in the world, and be on Hollywood making 50 times more money than what she did as an active pro wrestler. And when she goes to AEW, Tony Khan will afford her to go to Japan if she wants to and wrestle professionally where she can't do that in WWE. Tony Khan will afford her to go do movies and go do voiceovers and go do everything else that she wants to do where WWE doesn't afford her the right to do any of that. Sasha Banks is as good as gone. If there's any time now, or any time ever, where she wanted to step away, now is the right time. So the Warriors are getting it done. I do believe it's going to happen. Zarian's going to be proved right. Raj is going to be proved right. And everybody can get their fucking forces and their death threats. Fucking Sasha Banks. Somebody didn't even recognize your existence. You don't even recognize a live human being. Somebody fucking hockey game and broke the news about your favorite pro wrestler, man. I never seen people up in their feelings so fucking much. It is so fucking sad, man. Go get some vitamin D. Go sit at the fucking bar and fantasize that Sasha Banks holding up there. She ain't gonna fuck. She ain't gonna fuck you, bro. Calm the fuck down. That's what she's got in the Randy Orton. The other big news. Randy Orton could be out of action for the rest of 2020. This could be turned into a positive. WWE thinking, oh my God, they're going to be without Randy Orton. Oh my God, what are we going to do without Randy Orton? I booked this for you perfectly. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do with Randy Orton now that he's going to be out, potentially missing SummerSlam. And Roman Reigns, what is he going to do? Easy. Easy. WWE fucked up by giving Roman Reigns both championships. We'll fix that today. Randy Orton, he's been working through a back injury. This has been something that's been happening for a while, and the decision was made a few weeks ago to pull him off television to allow him to heal up. Fightful reports that it got to a point where he actually had some work done to improve his condition before the tag team title unification match on May 20th. That was SmackDown, although it's unclear of the extent of the work that he had done. Reports stated things have gotten progressively worse, and WWE fears that Orton will be forced to undergo surgery. If that happens, then he will likely be out of action for the rest of the year. It's unclear what the exact injury is to Randy Orton. Now, Orton is not factored into any greater plans for WWE at the moment, but there were plans for him to wrestle for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam next month in Nashville, Tennessee. Orton appeared on a recent internal injury report for the company as well. If Orton does get surgery, then the planned match with Roman Reigns obviously is not going to happen, and Matt Riddle could be slotted in not only for tonight, but could be the opponent for Roman Reigns at SummerSlam as well, being that Roman Reigns is going to miss the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now, that's a possibility. Meltzer already debunked this today on The Observer. WWE is going to have Roman Reigns defend the title against Matt Riddle tonight on SmackDown. I will be live on YouTube for the post-show SmackDown, going over everything that Vince McMahon said. Raw tonight. And Orton at SummerSlam. That was the plan. Now, Orton's match is in jeopardy with Roman Reigns after it was reported that he is hurt. Meltzer.
Break this tether, quickly! Left flank. Line behind you. Right flank. There it is. They're all dead. Good for you, Kratos. Good killing. Don't you wish you could have broken the mast and skewered all their heads with it?
Bitch.
You can put it through it.
Back here. And things just got harder. Did you forget that haste is a factor here? Decisions, decisions.
We're in attacks. Just got no money to go. Six. 7. Oh, cost 5,000. Okay, ain't got the money for that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm back again. Still not used to that.
Ah, the end of another gauntlet. I have another cherished weapon from my travels to show you. Ready to see? Be ready. Having fun yet? Trust your instincts, Kratos. Ready to win? Show me. Arms up. Tell me, Kratos, truly, how did it feel to plunge your homeland into darkness?
I did not intend the land to suffer, but I was indifferent, consumed only by rage and retribution.
That is not what I asked. How did it feel, in that moment, your soul given over to darkness, bringing a darkness over everything you can see?
It felt true.
Coming! You occur!
You better get into the light, brother.
Just a subtle shift in weight. Come, show me that Spartan grit.
Oh, you got me this time.
How many have seen that rage and lived to tell? Trust your instincts, Kratos.
Yes.
Be ready. Ready to win? Show me. Darkness come. Your curve.
Light.
Oh, you got me this time. Yeah. Start hitting my ass.
I yield. I yield.
Good builder.
I don't think you were indifferent, Kratos. I think you were hurt. deeply hurt. And you handled it unskillfully.
Wait, is that you restoring the sun? You took Helios' chariot, put the sun back in the sky, but sacrificed yourself in the process.
Yes, I fell to my death and was saved by Helios. But this memory happened before I killed him. My evils were yet to come. What is the point?
That your legacy has always been a complicated one. That goodness is not a destination we arrive at, but a practice. Misfortune may drive anyone to darkness. We resist it only through wisdom and vigilance. You are not so unskillful now as you were then. Better voices in your head, you might call it. I think that's enough for now. You have much to contemplate.
Yes.
Back to the beach then.
You should be proud of your progress, Kratos. See you soon.
Muito bem.
It seems like you're making progress, whatever you're doing in here.
Perhaps.
Listen, I know I made you feel like we expected more of you than you could give. And I just want you to know, I'm not asking you to change how you are or who you are. We had to break the old world to build a new one. Picking up the pieces, putting them together stronger. It's a rare opportunity. You made a difference here. In some circles, a symbol of change. On many days, just knowing that you're a part of the council is enough.
And other days.
You've earned a voice. How you use it is up to you.
My lady.
General.
Learning is a lifelong journey. No destination. Take that to heart.
Fresh rewards with a side of new opportunities.
You'll beat Valhalla at its own game. I know.
It's never been easier to be better.
Yeah. Yeah.